So, Mark here, a sermon came to me just now. I just got like a little sermon in me, so I just want to share this real quick. So I was reading First Kings chapter 20, verse 23 to 28. So real quick, I'm gonna keep this short because I gotta get out of here. But this is an inspiration, so I'm gonna share this with y'all. So in First Kings chapter 20, verses 23 to 28, Ahab is a king, and he's fighting against another king by the name of uh, Habad. I think his name was Habad or something like that. Habad. And, long story short, Ahab defeats Abad's soldiers in the mountains, in the hills. So Abad, him and his soldiers, they fleed, right? What was left, they fleed. And one of his officials, came to him. His official came to him and said, listen, Ahab only beat us because we were on his territory. We're in the hills. And Ahab's God is a God of the hills. Let's lead Ahab, let him follow us into the valleys, into the plains. And there we will be stronger than them. And we will defeat them in the plains because their God is a God of the hills. In verse 28, Ahab now, his prophet says to him, listen, our enemies have said that we only won because we were high up. We were in the hills. They want to take us into the plains, into the valleys. This is the prophet now telling him. And this is what the Lord says through the prophet to Ahab. They think we're only winning because you're in the hills. They want us to go into the valleys. Let's go to the valleys with them. This is what the prophet is saying to Ahab by means of God. God tells Ahab by means of the prophet, let's go into the valleys, and I will prove to them that I am not just the God of the hills, but I'm also the God of the valleys. You got to read it for yourself, but this is paraphrasing. And I got chills as I was reading that. Like, my whole body just got mad cold. Like, the hair on my neck stood up, right? Because it resonated with me so much. Like, people think, like, for one, there's so much in there. Let's unpack that, but I'm going to do it as quick as I can. Read it for yourself, but I'm going to try to, sermonize it and do a quick didactical extrapolation real quick. People think, one, your haters, in this case, the officials, the king of Aram, was the haters of Ahab. Apply it to your life. Your haters will think that you're only winning because you have advantages. Whether you come from money, you come from a good background, good home, good whatever, right? Whatever your advantages are. People will think you're only doing good because you got some kind of advantages, some leg up, some edge, whatever. Not realizing that, okay, be that as that may be, if you were to fall off, right? If disappointments, disadvantages, you fell off, you are still going to win as a child of God. Because your God is not just a God of advantages, he's a God of disadvantages. Your God is not just a God of, in the context of the Bible, your God is not just a God of the hills. He's going to prove to your haters that he's not only a God of the hills, but he's also a God of your valleys in your life. Hills metaphorically represent when you're high and doing good in life. Valleys represent when you're low, you're at your lowest in life, your darkest hours in life, your disappointments, disillusions, disenchantments, whatever. God is showing you and I that, listen, I will bless you on your highs, and I'm going to bless you even on your lows. I'm going to show your haters that I got you when you're doing good, and I got you double when you're doing so-called bad. They think that, some people, this is a fact, some people can't fall off in life and bounce back. This is all I'm getting from this. Some people cannot go from the hills of life to the valleys of life and still keep winning. There are people who cannot bounce back from lows. But what God was saying in this scripture is, I'm going to show your haters that I'm not only the God, the champion, your victor when you're on high, but I'm going to prove to them, watch this. You're going to get some displacements, dissatisfactions, disappointments, disillusions, and disenchantments. And I'm going to prove to them that I'm going to still be your champion in your valleys. In your darkest hour, we going to show your haters, your enemies, that I'm going to still keep giving you victories. In the midst of your losses, in the midst of your failures, we're going to still keep winning. Because your haters think that, okay, he's only winning because he's doing good. But if we can cause him to trip, if we could trip him up a little bit, but this is what Ahab, Horeb officials are saying. If we could trip up Ahab a little bit, get him off the highs of his life, get him off the highs, off the hills. If we can get him to fall down into the gutter, into the lows and dark crevices of life, the cracks of life, that's when we can beat him. Then we'll be stronger. That he'll be weaker and we'll be stronger, and we can get him then. Because he's only strong in the hills. He's only strong because his credit is good, his bills are paid, he's got his job, he's got his family, he's got his kids. But God said, watch this. We gonna go into the valley. Let's go meet the king of Aram on his grounds. Let's go meet him in homelessness. Let's go meet him in sicknesses. Let's go meet him in diseases. Let's go meet him on his grounds. Let's go meet your haters metaphorically where they want to meet us. And there I'm going to give you victory in the midst of your disasters, in the midst of your debacles, right? Your upheavals, right? Your financial tsunamis, right? Let's go meet the haters where they want us to meet them, and I'm going to prove to them that I am the Lord. This is what it says in verse 28. We're going to go fight them on their grounds and watch me still give you victory. To prove I'm not only the God of the hills of your life, but I'm also the God of your trenches. I'm also the God of your lows. I'm also the God of your darkness. I'm also the God of any and all circumstances, conditions, and or situations you find yourself in. Till next time, y'all, keep that faith. Peace.